Hey everybody, Mary Elizabeth with Find Your Fabulous here today. So, big stuff going on. My Find Your Fabulous has really been taking off in terms of the services that I provide, which is master level Usui Reiki in-person energy medicine, as well as teaching it, selling body butters, handmade body butters. I've been giving a lot out lately, all organic ingredients, and really healing and awesome. A couple wind chimes, which was really just for fun. And my book is with editors. Lots of good things are happening despite the chaos of being evacuated from your one and only residence for what was to be 2 weeks and has now been 2 months. It's tough. So here's the other big thing that happened. And I've been welcomed with open arms back in my hometown of Columbia, Illinois, which has been so healing and awesome and happy, and including a very warm welcome from John, who owns A Wellness Within You, which is a massage and healing little sanctuary studio in Columbia. So I've been working out of there a lot too. So that's been amazing. And it's been all without much effort, which is really great. And I was in a very great little Airbnb condo space that I have been trying to get into for a whole year, like as a permanent renter. And it was offered to me permanently about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So I was so excited and over the moon. The neighbors there, some of the elderly ladies really liked me and literally asked me to ask the owner to please let me be there full time because they didn't like the different people coming in and out. And they liked me because they saw me all the time with Kira, and I always talked with them and brought them fresh fruit sometimes when I had overabundance of it. And it's just been really nice. So I was so blissed out happy. It was one shining bit of goodness that was giving me stability at a time that is not very stable at all when you don't have your stuff, your everything that you live with every day. That was yanked out from under me with no warning late yesterday in an email, which is weird, which honestly is unconscionable for anybody. I think particularly under the circumstances, I'm 3 months post-surgery. I still have ongoing issues here and there that I regularly have to address either on my own or with my doctors and surgeons. I just did today. And being evacuated from your home is so stressful. More than I was giving it credit for, I realized a couple weeks ago. So for this person to give me 4 days notice of, hey, you don't get it anymore. I offered it to you 3 weeks ago, but you don't get it anymore at all, was just bananas. Didn't make any logical sense. But then to say, I prefer you get your things that are left here because I was supposed to be going right back and moving in full time before I leave, which gave me 4 days to get my things there. I have a little dinette set there now. I have a couple of chairs. I have just some of Kira's stuff that I didn't need because I thought I was only being gone 2 or 3 weeks until I moved in full time. I don't understand people who can act like that, who can treat any other human being like that. And this person is supposedly very spiritual, and I actually admired the person a great deal. Felt so grateful. This person was the one that owned the place because we had so much in common, I thought. I will say, maybe 5 months or so ago, I had some indication that something wasn't quite right, and that maybe this person wasn't quite as generous and kind and good as I thought. But it got better. But honestly, my greatest fear was when I moved in that sometime down the road the person would decide they wanted it back because they would stay there occasionally when they're in town. And all their stuff is there. Like, it's furnished, which is no big deal. That's great, actually. It's a benefit for a lot of people. But there was hardly any room for me to store my own things, even clothes, if I didn't want to use a dresser for everything, which I don't. So that was odd. It didn't really seem to make a lot of sense. And of course, now the person's saying this is the reason why they want to be able to have a home. I don't know why they offered it to me then 3 weeks ago. So something else dramatically changed. I think I have an idea what it is. In the meantime, though, my other half and I have saved this person, I'd say about $2,700 in work on the HVAC system of another rental property in Columbia, Illinois, as well as some plumbing on that condo. And the reason why we generously did that for far beyond what would be anybody's professional prices. And this is coming from an engineer who did the work, okay? and assigned the work to someone else at one point, who still saved that person over $2,000. We were doing this because we liked the individual and individuals who owned the unit a lot, and because we knew I was going to be moving in there. So why not do these extra nice things and make things easier for this person who lives out of state most of the time? I feel completely taken advantage of. I think my other half was taken advantage of, and I've alerted, the proper people to handle this. The person's now singing a very different tune and saying you can get your things at any time that's convenient for you. After I literally had to say, okay, well, I'll talk to my lawyer about extending this bananas 4-day time. I mean, I do work. I do have appointments. I do have commitments and responsibilities every single day, all through the day. So how do I translate this into its highest power? That's what my spiritual teacher, my greatest guide here in the flesh, teaches and does. How do you translate something like this into its highest power? How do you see the good with so much not good? All I can do, I'm not at a point of forgiveness. I'm deeply hurt and deeply wounded that someone could treat me that inhumanely. Like I don't matter enough to even say this in person. It's such a dramatic, significant, unexpected change with 4 days notice to find another place to live. Are you kidding me? And then you think I'm supposed to understand? No. Would you think I was going to do cartwheels? Nope. Not anytime soon. So forgiveness will come. But in the meantime, I can still find the capacity to send love and compassion to the unconsciousness that is alive and well in this person. That's a shame. It's a shame this person is so far from reality and so far from spirituality. I think this person's self-centered. In fact, that was what I was suspicious of months ago, and I just hoped that wasn't the case, but it is. Has no idea of the reality of the real world, apparently. And I'm hurt that I admired this person so much, and that there's a nasty side that I didn't think would be quite that nasty. I knew there could be some self-centeredness, but this is just takes the cake. And I'm just going to send some really good prayers up for my other half so that he doesn't have anything triggered, because nobody wants to deal with this ex-Green Beret when, with something awful like this. This is just 4 days notice. Come on. I'm trying not to go backwards and go there, but it's just a shock and an ugly one. So how do I transmute this to highest power? I can find a place of love and compassion and empathy for this person's lack of mindfulness, conscientiousness, consciousness, manners, lack of empathy, lack of humanity. This is why we have to be careful, guys. There are a lot of charlatans out there who preach things, but they do not follow through themselves. And they will tell you all about how spiritual and balanced and manifesting and, oh, I try to keep everything balanced and good and happy, and it's bullshit sometimes from people. Be very wary of people who show you this and only this on social media and in person, phone or in-person interactions, because if they are not open to owning their own humanity and mistakes, you want to run from them. So I will never do business of any kind with this person again, personal or professional. And it's just a letdown on so many fronts, but I'm working to stay out of sadness and brokenheartedness and moving onward and upward, because that's what we do, all right? That's how I keep it. That's how I flip this and transmute it to its highest power. You send the act and the person's mentality and lackful spirituality, love and compassion. Send it off and away. Send yourself love and compassion for the hurts and the wrongs, and you keep moving onward and upward and focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. That's it. Hope you guys learned something from this. Sending you a lot of love this weekend. See you later. Bye.